Being an empath is a double-edged sword, filled with both profound connections and overwhelming challenges. Imagine walking into a room and instantly feeling the weight of everyone's emotions pressing down on you. One moment you might feel joy radiating from a friend, and the next you're engulfed in sadness from a stranger. This emotional turbulence can leave you questioning your own feelings, leading to a whirlwind of confusion and exhaustion. What happens when the urge to help others becomes a burden too heavy to bear? As empaths navigate their unique experiences, they often find themselves trapped in a cycle of emotional highs and lows, struggling to maintain their own sense of self, absorbing others' emotions. Empaths possess a remarkable sensitivity that allows them to deeply connect with the emotional experiences of others. They have the uncanny ability to intuitively sense and absorb the feelings of those around them, often to the point of making these emotions their own. This heightened empathic capacity can be both a gift and a challenge for empaths. On one hand, empaths' ability to attune to the emotional landscape of their environment enables them to offer profound compassion, understanding and support to those in need. Their capacity for emotional resonance allows them to provide a safe haven for others to express their feelings and feel truly heard and validated. Empaths often gravitate towards roles and professions where they can utilize their empathic gifts to help alleviate the suffering of others, such as counseling, social work, or the healing arts. The very trait that makes empaths so attuned to the emotional needs of others can also be a source of overwhelm and exhaustion. Constantly absorbing the emotional states of those around them, whether positive or negative, can be mentally and physically draining for empaths. They may find themselves feeling anxious, depressed, or physically unwell after prolonged exposure to intense emotional environments or interactions with emotionally charged individuals. Feeling overwhelmed in crowds. Empaths possess a heightened sensitivity that can make navigating crowded environments particularly challenging. Their ability to intuitively pick up on the emotions and energies of those around them often intensifies in densely populated settings, leading to feelings of being overwhelmed and drained. In a crowd, an empath is bombarded with a multitude of sensations, from the palpable emotions of individuals to the collective atmosphere of the space. They may feel a sudden surge of anxiety, sadness, or even anger that doesn't belong to them, but rather resonates with the energy of the surrounding people. The physical and mental fatigue that can result from being in a crowd is a common experience for empaths. The constant influx of external stimuli and emotional input can be overwhelming, leading to sensory overload and a need to retreat to a quieter, more peaceful environment. To manage the challenges of being in a crowd, empaths must learn to establish healthy boundaries and develop strategies to protect their sensitive nature. Unexplained mood swings. Empaths often experience sudden and inexplicable mood swings that can leave them feeling confused and emotionally exhausted. This phenomenon occurs because empaths have a unique ability to absorb the emotions of those around them, making it difficult to distinguish between their own feelings and those they have picked up from others. For instance, an empath might feel a rush of joy after a friend shares good news, only to suddenly feel a wave of sadness when that same friend expresses a moment of vulnerability. This emotional rollercoaster can happen within minutes, leaving the empath questioning the source of their feelings and struggling to regain emotional stability. The intensity of these mood swings is often magnified in social situations, where an empath is surrounded by a multitude of emotional energies. The collective atmosphere can heighten their sensitivity, leading to a chaotic blend of emotions that can be overwhelming. For example, in a gathering where laughter and joy are present, an empath might initially feel elated. However, if someone nearby begins to express grief or frustration, the empath may quickly shift to feeling heavy and burdened by that sorrow, even if they have no personal connection to the individual experiencing it. This constant fluctuation in mood can result in emotional fatigue and a sense of disorientation. Empaths may find themselves withdrawing from social interactions to avoid the emotional turmoil that comes with being around others. Additionally, the pressure to manage their own emotions while navigating the feelings of others can lead to chronic stress and anxiety. Understanding and recognizing these mood swings as a natural part of being an empath is crucial. It allows empaths to develop strategies for self-care and emotional regulation, helping them to maintain their well-being while still embracing their unique gift of empathy. physical symptoms. Empaths often find themselves experiencing physical symptoms that are deeply intertwined with the emotional pain of others. This phenomenon can manifest in various ways, such as headaches, fatigue, or even gastrointestinal issues, which are not rooted in their own experiences, but rather in the emotional turmoil of those around them. For instance, when a loved one is distressed, an empath might suddenly develop a headache or feel an overwhelming sense of fatigue, as if they are physically carrying the emotional burden of that person. This connection between emotional and physical states highlights the profound sensitivity that empaths possess, allowing them to feel the pain of others almost as if it were their own. The intensity of these physical symptoms can be alarming and confusing for empaths, as they may not immediately recognize the source of their discomfort. They might walk into a room where someone is feeling anxious or sad and, without any conscious awareness, absorb that energy, resulting in a physical manifestation of the emotional distress. This can lead to a cycle of emotional and physical exhaustion, where the empath feels compelled to help others while simultaneously suffering from the emotional weight they have taken on. Empaths often lack the necessary boundaries to protect themselves from this emotional absorption. They may feel a strong urge to alleviate the suffering of others, which can lead to a tendency to neglect their own well-being. The physical symptoms they experience serve as a reminder of their empathetic nature, but they can also indicate the need for self-care and emotional regulation. Learning to differentiate between their own emotions and those of others is crucial for empaths, as it can help them manage their physical responses and reduce the likelihood of experiencing debilitating symptoms. This process often involves developing strategies to create emotional distance, such as grounding techniques or mindfulness practices, which can help empaths maintain their health while still being available to support those in need. Intuitive knowing. Many empaths possess a remarkable intuitive sense that allows them to perceive and understand the emotions of others without any verbal communication. This innate ability enables them to sense when someone is upset, anxious, or even hiding something, making their interactions deeply insightful yet sometimes overwhelming. For empaths, this intuitive knowing often feels like a sixth sense, where they can pick up on subtle emotional cues that others may overlook. This heightened awareness can manifest in various situations, such as sensing tension in a room or detecting when a friend is struggling despite their outward appearance of composure. This intuitive capacity can be both a blessing and a burden. On one hand, it allows empaths to connect with others on a profound level, fostering deep relationships built on understanding and compassion. They can offer support and comfort to those in distress, often knowing exactly what to say or do to help. However, this same ability can also lead to emotional fatigue, as empaths may find themselves overwhelmed by the emotional states of others. The constant influx of emotional information can be exhausting, and without proper boundaries, empaths may struggle to maintain their own emotional equilibrium. The intuitive knowing of empaths often extends beyond mere emotional perception. They may have a gut feeling about someone's intentions or a sense of foreboding when something is amiss. This can make them particularly adept at navigating complex social dynamics, as they can read between the lines and understand the underlying emotions at play. However, this sensitivity can also lead to confusion, as empaths may grapple with distinguishing their own feelings from those they absorb from others. This challenge can create a sense of disorientation, making it essential for empaths to develop strategies for grounding themselves and managing their emotional landscape effectively. By honing their intuitive skills, while also practicing self-care, empaths can navigate their unique experiences with greater clarity and resilience. Feeling drained. Empaths often find themselves feeling drained after social interactions, particularly in emotionally charged environments. This exhaustion stems from the significant energy they expend while absorbing and processing the emotions of others. Unlike typical social interactions where individuals may share feelings without deeply engaging, empaths experience a profound connection that allows them to feel the emotional states of those around them as if they were their own. This heightened sensitivity can lead to a state of emotional overload, especially in gatherings where strong feelings are prevalent. For empaths, the act of engaging with others is not merely a social exchange, it is an immersive experience that can leave them feeling depleted. After spending time in a crowd, they may notice symptoms such as fatigue, irritability, or even physical discomfort, which are manifestations of the emotional energy they have absorbed. This phenomenon is often exacerbated in settings where negative emotions, such as anger or sadness, are palpable. The empath's natural inclination to connect and support can lead to a cycle of emotional exhaustion as they prioritize the feelings of others over their own well-being. The inability to set clear emotional boundaries can further contribute to this draining experience. Empaths may struggle to separate their own emotions from those they have absorbed, leading to confusion and a sense of being overwhelmed. This lack of distinction can make it challenging for empaths to recharge after social interactions, as they may carry the emotional weight of others long after the interaction has ended. Difficulty saying no. Empaths often face significant challenges when it comes to setting boundaries, particularly in their ability to say no. This difficulty arises from their innate desire to help others and their deep emotional sensitivity. For many empaths, the instinct to respond to the needs of others can feel overwhelming, as if every request for assistance is a call to action that they cannot ignore. This compulsion to help can lead to feelings of guilt or anxiety when they consider declining a request, causing them to prioritize the emotional needs of others over their own. As a result, empaths frequently find themselves overcommitted and stretched thin, juggling multiple responsibilities and emotional demands that can quickly become unmanageable. The absence of a strong boundary system leaves empaths vulnerable to a torrent of emotions from those around them. They may feel as though they are drowning in the emotional needs of others, which can lead to chronic fatigue and burnout. This emotional enmeshment makes it difficult for empaths to recognize their own needs, as they often become so absorbed in the feelings of others that they lose sight of their own well-being. Learning to say no becomes a complex emotional challenge, as it requires empaths to confront their fears of disappointing others or being perceived as unkind.